Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever, strengthening the time.
So last week, we began the conversation. Holiday blues, yay or nay? We continue the conversation. This is Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, with other people. I'm Noreen Daly, and with me again are Meldon Pickersgill, Trishagaye Kelly, and Rory Hall. Trisha, you kept on emphasizing check your circle. How many persons, though, are in a position to do just that? And I'll give you an example. There are some individuals who believe, say for you example, you left home, you're now at NCU, and I know for you, some of your circle would have been people you've had for a while, but then there would be additions. Yet there's some people who will think, but wait, because it is that she has moved up, she has no time for those of us she left behind. So how then will you then strike that balance for them to recognize that it is not necessarily that I'm leaving you behind, but I am quote unquote checking my circle, if you understand what I'm asking?
Definitely. Now, I think it's important that we tell people, we communicate. So as communicators, it's important that we let people know if they're affecting us. And as I said before, sometimes it is not intentional, so they don't actually know that they're affecting you in a bad way. So it's good that you communicate. Now, if I say something to you and I tell you, you know, this is affecting me, I really would like if you could do this to make it a little better, and we agree on that, and then you go back and you continue to do the same thing, then obviously you mean me no good. Because if we are friends, you want to see me strive and you want to see me be happy. So if I tell you that this is affecting me and you cannot help, then obviously you do not want to be my friend. So I think that answers the question right there, I think.
Okay. All right, so both yourself and Meldon, what Meldon said it initially, the whole idea of finding time for yourself. There's some persons who will listen to this or might be listening at this time and saying, a lot of us have been socialized that if it is that we try to just find some me time, you're being selfish and you're shutting people out. So Meldon, how then, and if Trisha, you want to, comment on this, I don't have a problem. Meldon, how then do you help people to understand that finding me time is actually important?
Me time, all right. So in finding me time, it is extremely important, but what persons have to do is just to respect your decision in wanting to spend some time by yourself. This is not just only for you, but it is also for other persons. Because constantly being in the circle of everybody else is so draining sometimes. It's so draining that sometimes they don't even realize that you are not the same at the same level that you would have been mentally. And with finding your own time to relax, de-stress, take a time from everything else, everybody else, doing all of this will help to bring back that homeostasis into your life so that you can be at a level where you can communicate effectively. Now, as Trisha said earlier, if these persons aren't understanding of that, then they're not good enough to be a part of your circle in your life.
I am seeing Rory nodding like he wants to add to what was just said by both of you.
Yeah, the me time concept is so important. And one of the things that I find interesting is that while we encourage, as a church, we encourage family devotions, we encourage group devotions, but as a church, we also tell the brethren that, listen, if you don't personally have your personal devotion, then you don't have any spiritual connection with God to participate effectively in family devotion. And it's the same idea when it comes, especially with your mental health, because you want to have that personal time for self-inspection, for self-evaluation, so that you can be a proper contributor in the larger sphere. And the reality of the situation is, and Ms. Daly mentioned it earlier, of people accusing you of being selfish. But the truth is, you can only be the best selfless person when you are at your personal best. So if you are not at your personal best, if there's no personal devotion, there's no personal mental health time, then guess what? You are going to end up start going downward on that downward spiral, and you will not be a good contributor to the conversation that you need to be.
Okay, I agree. And for me, I had to get to the point recently in terms of starting to ignore certain calls sometimes or certain messages until I believe it was time. In my other life as an educator, I recognize that for students, because you make yourself accessible via phone, for some it means for them any hour of the night or any hour of the morning. So one of the things that I've had to do is if I get a message from a student and I know it's work related, I'm not going to respond before 8:30, because for me, if it's work time, I'm then accessible. So I think the whole idea of helping to retrain people and helping them to understand that you have to set boundaries so you can have some me time. You
Mhm.
have to, you have to, you have to. There are a lot of persons who will listen to this. And let me start with Rory first. Will be skeptical because there's some people who will listen and they do not believe in God or in any being. So for the person who's listening and for them, what you would have said earlier will not resonate with them, because for them, they don't believe in God or in any God per se. What is your recommendation or advice to them to beat the holiday blues?
Holiday blues, and I think Meldon did a walk through several concepts of, evaluating what are your expectations. One of the things is that whether or not we believe in God, the concept of meditation um, is carried throughout our belief systems. The atheist believes in meditation. There's a time when you have to dial down everything, and then you focus in on something that will bring you peace and calm. So the reality of the situation is there are some basic concepts that religion or religious belief helps us to go through, and it gives us some amount of meaning in those aspects. But even if you're not religious, you can find them to be very effective. That is the reason why yoga and the various meditative devices that yoga bring forward have become so popular in modern time. And what persons have found out, for example, in recent times, is that if you dwell on positive thoughts or positive words, for the religious person, it would have been scripture. So for the non-religious, find positive thoughts, positive ideas that would enhance your perspective of life. I am good. I can be a better person. I am a better person than I was yesterday. These ideas and these thoughts, repeated, thought upon, focused on, will give you a different perspective going forward. Instead of shaming yourself, yes, you ate a little bit too much over the holidays. Yes, you need to exercise and get the extra weight off because of health reasons. But it doesn't make sense dwelling in the idea of I am so fat. No, move forward beyond that and say, I will exercise more this year, and keep doing that. Get into it, get into the act, stop dwelling on the past. The key idea here is that in religion, in religious thought, as a Christian, would I believe that you confess and move forward. The idea then is to apply that in a non-religious way of recognizing where you went wrong and then moving on. Don't dwell in that regretful and bad past. Move on and start doing the thing that you should do to make things right.
Okay. Okay. Trisha, I know because I know you on a personal level. I know you have a strong circle. So one of the things that you said, check your circle. There's somebody who's listening saying, I don't have a circle that I can then have around to support me as I'm during this holiday season. What then would be your advice to that particular person?
Briefly, support yourself. You have to learn to support you before anyone else can. And if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else can. You don't give them the right to. When you believe in yourself, then other people feel empowered to do so because they see you believing in you and you empowering you, you uplifting yourself. So even if you don't have a circle, I believe you can still stay positive. And that's the way to move forward in getting the holiday cheer. I believe many things like holiday blues start with the mind. So if you think about all the things that are going wrong in your life, you are going to get sad. But if you think about all the things that are going right, you look on the positive side and you want to continue doing them and making things better, right? So I believe even if you don't have a circle like me, and I'm proud that I have a circle, but some people are different and we must acknowledge that everyone is not the same. Everyone is not sociable. Some people are introverts. And if you are like that, you can also support yourself. Be there for you, make time for you, and cheer up yourself. It's the holiday season.
Okay. This is a conversation that we must have because there might be some of you experiencing the holiday blues. We're going to take a short break and we'll get a word from our partners. We'll be right back.
Are you struggling to become an effective communicator? Let Noreen Daly, the communications specialist, get you there. Services include communications consultancy, one-on-one coaching, public speaking and debate training, leadership and team building sessions, plus much more. Visit noreendaly.com for more info. Noreen Daly, redefining the way you communicate.
So, the whole idea of a branding strategy sounded so exotic and so fancy to me. But after having several conversations with Neon, I now have a clearer understanding. I am sure of what my identity is, what it is that I want people to see Noreen Daly as. Thanks Neon, thanks Splint. Visit them at wearesplint.com.
Are you looking for one-of-a-kind products customized to suit your needs? Then shop at Trending Things, the place where customization is always an option. From personalized gifts to apparel, accessories, drinkware, and home decor, you name it, we make it. Get your favorite designs on any item for party favors, weddings, graduations, or any special occasion, all at affordable prices. What are you waiting for? Visit our website at trendingthings.com to order your trendy item today. Trending Things, bringing creativity to the things you love.
Welcome back. We're going to continue this conversation because I learned the concept recently, well, recent enough, whole idea of having crucial conversations. And I think this is a crucial conversation. So Rory mentioned it, but I'm going to utilize Meldon right now. Now, Meldon, if one of the factors or one of the things that can cause holiday blues, the whole idea of unmet expectations, what then, Meldon, do you think we all can do to ensure that within this season we try to have realistic expectations?
All right. So one of the main thing is to what we'd consider SMART goals. SMART goals refers to it being specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. So once your goal would have met these expectations, these expectations, then you know that your goals are achievable. However, if you're unable to make meet those expectations that are goals that you would have set out to meet, then as Rory said earlier, just accept the fact that it was not met and just move on. Learn to accept things as they come. You're not a perfect human being. Things will go wrong. Accept that fact. Things will go wrong. So once you're able to accept those and move on and not let it drag you down or you repress all of that emotions. If you
Mhm.
have to cry, cry. If you have to sing, sing. Whatever you have to do, just do it just to let go of those emotions that you've been trying to repress. So expectations that are not met, let go of them and move on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As we're wrapping up, and as we're also with the holiday season, of course, a lot of people looking forward to the new year. Trisha, you've said a lot, and if it is that nobody got anything from all of what you said, what's the one idea you'd want to leave with everybody?
All right, so make time for you. I think that's the biggest takeaway from what I would have said. Make time for you, especially in a time like this where we are in COVID and we are experiencing a lot of depression. I think you need to give yourself some space to grow, try new things, learn new skills, make time for yourself and see how far you can go. Because if you don't push it, you won't know, right? So in making time for you, you have to appreciate life and the fact that you are still here and you've been going through it day by day, and use that to push you to continue going through it.
All right, all right. Meldon, what's the one thing you want people to say? Yes, I got that from that man.
Learn to appreciate life. Learn to appreciate life. Um, there are so many persons waking up each day not on the positive side of mental health. Mental health is real, and taking care of yourself is of utmost importance. If you don't take care of yourself, no one will take care of you, or no one can take care of you. So you have to remember that you come first. So, we are selfish beings. So you come first. And then once you would have taken care of yourself, then you'll be able to take care of others. So smile with yourself, look in the mirror, laugh at yourself, love yourself. And that's just it. Love yourself.
Okay. It's deliberate with me ending with Rory, who should, but let me not pressure him, who should be giving us that spiritual side. Rory, what's the one thought that you'd want to leave with us?
Talk, talk, talk with God. Even if you're not religious, talk with somebody. One of the things that I've discovered personally is that when I'm going through a blue time, when I talk, when I express why I'm going through that blue time, when I talk with the person who might have been at the root of that blue time, I've found that it brings solution. And if you are religious, if you believe in God, talk to him, pray to him. Yeah, sometimes God just throws you some confusing curveballs in your life. Ask him about it. Don't be afraid. I mean, go to him respectfully, yes, but ask him about it. Say, hey, God, I don't get this. I don't understand why this happened. And be willing to say, all right, God, how do I move forward? A lot of times we're just so busy being stuck in not understanding that we don't ask the big question of, God, where do you want me to go from here? And so talk, pray, counsel with friends, and be willing to go forward. And for those problems, those family difficulties that can be solved, pray about it, talk to your family members, solve those family problems, and move forward. But above all of that, as I said, remember, talk. God bless you.
Thanks so much for sharing, Meldon, Rory, and Trishagaye. This was Make It Last podcast. It's all about helping us have better relationships, not just with ourselves, with other people. Holiday blues, yay or nay? It's all about nay. You just got something to help you through this period. Until next time.
You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is is making it last.